What up? This is Ramashkin covering movies, TV, and entertainment, and here's my review of Netflix's new documentary series, Gunther's Millions. Hey, before you watch my review, please subscribe to my channel, press that like button, ring that bell, so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. Let's rock this. Oh my god, this documentary is absolutely bonkers. I'm not even sure where to begin. But brace yourselves for some of the craziest twists and turns and revelations that you've ever come across in a documentary of all format, for Pete's sake. Gunther's Millions is outrageous, it's sexy, it's upsetting, and it's also sad. Not in a my goldfish died sad kind of a way, but it's sad because you realize that it's true, that money can't buy you happiness. So you start off watching Gunther's Millions feeling envy towards the dog. This is a dog, mind you, not a human being. A dog that's being showered with such lavish luxuries. I know, life is an unfair bitch. And then come episodes 2 and 3, you start feeling angry once the documentary uncovers their tax evasion. And then once you get to the final episode, you're like, oh, so that's what's really happening. All of a sudden, what is supposed to be about a dog turns into a one-man psychological drama. It's like his very own Fight Club, a projection of his own damn mind, if you will. I know, it's insane hearing it come out of my mouth, but this is one documentary where you'll have to see it to believe it. Directed by Aurélien Leturgy, in Gunther's Millions, multimillionaire Gunther VI lives in the lap of luxury. He travels on private planes, eats steaks for dinner, and surrounds himself with a glamorous entourage of spokesmodels and entertainers. He is also a German Shepherd. As the legend goes, Gunther's great-grandfather was originally owned by a mysterious countess whose son died tragically. Having no heirs, the countess bequeathed her considerable fortune to her beloved dog and placed him in the care of her son's close friend, an Italian pharmaceutical heir named Maurizio Mian. Over the past 30 years, Maurizio Mian has built an empire on behalf of his canine boss, including glamorous real estate purchases, controversial social experiments, and one of the biggest tax fraud schemes of all time. It's a fairy tale both beautiful and bizarre, and naturally, questions abound. In this whirlwind of a 4-part investigative documentary series, executive producers Aurélien Leturgy and Émile Dumais crisscross the globe in search of answers, gaining access to never-before-seen archival material, and sitting down for intimate conversations with Maurizio Mian and the rest of Gunther's longtime associates in hopes of understanding the complicated truth behind the world's wealthiest pet. As I implied earlier, this documentary has its twists and turns and surprises, and although Netflix did not tell me to keep my review spoiler-free, I will do my best to tiptoe around the details so that you can be as shocked as I was when encountering them in this docu. You know, if this documentary only had one episode, the first episode only, then Gunther's Millions would have been like any other reality TV. Lifestyles of the rich and famous, glamorous, except this one is about a dog, surrounded by models in bikinis and cameras from the media. Because that is exactly what episode 1 gives you. Oh my god, look at that adorable dog, flying on private planes, walking the red carpets, going on talk shows. I mean, it's so unique and unlike anything you've ever seen before. Well, that flashy life kinda bleeds into episode 2, when the situation morphs into a wannabe MTV Real World. And the deeper that the documentary digs, the more that the dog Gunther takes the back seat, and the more that his caretaker Maurizio takes the spotlight. Now, again, I don't want to reveal too many details here, but turns out the debauchery and the wasteful spending and the sexcapades are all part of Maurizio's philosophy and his grand master plan. There's a perfectly good reason why this docu needs to have 4 episodes. And at the end of every episode, the director does this very tricky cliffhanger that basically suggests, oh, you think what you saw was wild? Wait till you get to the next one. Wild doesn't even begin to describe it. And there are segments within those episodes that will infuriate you. not just about how the rich always get away with not paying taxes, but on top of that, there's also the bloodline animal abuse that will get you boiling mad. I mean, keep it real. This was never about the dog. The dog is just a figurehead, more or less. When I mentioned sad earlier, I meant sad about the whole Maurizio personal situation. But do I have sympathy for people like Maurizio? Absolutely not. This is another example of a bored rich man who doesn't know what to do with all his money. And instead of using those resources to help make the world a better place or to help his fellow man, Maurizio spends all his time and energy and money on himself at the expense of all the people that he uses and then discards like lab rats along the way. You know what? Forget the word sad. Pathetic is a more appropriate word. Such a sad, pathetic, selfish man. And of course, just like any elite rich bastards out there, Maurizio also does not suffer consequences in the end. So, if there's one big takeaway that I get from watching this documentary, is that there's always room to increase taxes on the rich. Gunther's Millions makes a solid, undeniable argument in favor of that. And anybody who tells you otherwise is a liar.